Okay. Um This is awkward. This is our third comeback, like this is our third
We're
season.
trying.
Okay, three.
This is
Okay.
season two.
Okay. Oh,
Wait, actually,
it's season three. It's season three. Let's keep up.
we're still.
Okay, three, two, one. Hey guys.
Hello.
So we're back with the new year, 2026. There's more movies and shows and news and stuff to discuss. So, yeah.
Yeah, last year we concluded 2026 with a marsh. I mean, we concluded 2026 with a Brainiac casting,
Yeah.
which was kind of huge, a really big deal.
Yeah.
We already assumed that Brainiac was
The
the
villain.
main antagonist of Man of Tomorrow, and then we got that confirmed
Yeah.
with rumors that followed about a Wonder Woman casting. And well, we're gonna be touching on that a little bit later.
Yeah. But right now, the talk of the town is Brave and the Bold because we finally got an update
Yes.
on the DCU Batman, the actual Batman, and now like even merger bros, which is what they call it, I think. Like me, like I
Yeah.
need the merge, but like it's not happening unfortunately. Like it's like a very low chance now. But we have an update which I don't know how to feel about it. I've kind of processed we've had time to kind of process like what this would mean, but yeah, the big announcement was that the secret writer that James Gunn was writing this movie with is Christina Hodson, who wrote The Flash and Birds of Prey.
Two decent movies that underperformed and didn't reach expectations for many reasons. They received really bad reviews. I personally like both of the films. I like Birds of Prey a lot, and it might be because of the bias, which I've mentioned, for like when I watch movies in the theater, like when they release, like I just like the movies automatically. I don't know what that's about, but
That's mental
yeah.
disorder. So I would say I wouldn't call them both decent. I would call Birds of Prey decent. I would say Birds of Prey is a good movie, but it's not a good DC movie. That's how I would say it. It's a good movie, but it's not a good DC movie. As in, they just like butcher a bunch of the DC characters, and like it's a good story, but it butchers a lot of characters, and they're not very accurate. The Flash is my issue with The Flash is that it's not a Flash film, and it's called The Flash. Why would you do that? It's a movie about
Yeah.
it's a movie about basically just like it's called like it's basically DC. Like the movie in my mind is called DC Multiverse because it's about DC and the multiverse. It was just horrific. The villain was Zod, General Zod, and at the end of they were just in this like empty CGI like desert plain fighting Zod, and they just died 100 times. And then he went into this like weird like dimension, and then he like talked with himself, and then we saw like a bunch of like sloppy CGI cameos, and the movie ended. What was that about?
Okay, you better give us the full plot.
Cause that was just like it was horrific. It was horrific, but people have
So,
people have been mixed
uh,
about this casting, and that's because like some people are defending her, saying that it was like the studio intervention, which is why these movies weren't exactly what fans would have expected. But some people like me are like, she's not completely free of any responsibility. Yeah, sure. We know how the previous DC world was. They were trying to catch up to Marvel super quickly, and so they were just throwing anything at the wall. But at the same time, she did write the film. Like, at the end of the day, full stop. She is the writer of both of these films. So she has to have some hand in it.
she's the screenwriter, which also, let's not forget, she's not like the sole reason why certain changes were made in the movie. Like one of the main complaints of Birds of Prey, which I still stand behind the fact that it's a really good movie. It's actually the best movie in the DCEU,
Oh,
aside from Aquaman. So, there were people who worked on Birds of Prey who mentioned that they pushed heavily for Cassandra Cain to like be very accurate to her comic book counterpart. but the higher ups were against that. And we can't forget that there are higher ups in the industry that want to push certain agendas, or they don't want certain things to like look a certain way. So it
Oh.
takes away comic book accuracy, which is why we got the Cassandra Cain we got, and the Huntress that we got, and even the Black
Even the
Canary.
Black Canary that we got.
And it's a lot of like, pushback from like the actors, the writers, the director, and then the higher ups. We also know Margot Robbie really wanted that film, and
She just had to
I still
insert
think it's good.
herself into
I don't.
Birds of Prey.
I looking back, I don't like how Cassandra Cain was like portrayed. But then going on to the Flash, it's a very sloppy movie, yes, but like it still has a really good message at its center. If you ignore the CGI, all the
Okay,
jokes,
so well, if you
the corny
don't look at
portrayal of
the
Wonder
images,
Woman and her lore.
if you don't look at the images flashing on screen for 2.5 hours, then it's a really good movie. Cause what?
But the movie has a really good message. Like we can all understand that, right? Like
Okay.
it also tells
So
a
does
really
Wheels on the
important
Bus.
story, like Flashpoint, where it resets a whole universe and has to carry all that weight on its shoulder. I think because of the circumstances, I'm giving Hudson the benefit of the doubt because
Hudson. Are you on like a
is it
second
Hudson
nerve
or
basis or
Hudson?
something?
But yeah, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt because she's not like writing the entire film. Like there's gonna be changes that are made, especially as Gunn is overseeing it,
Yeah, about
and it
that.
has to blend in with the DCU that we see right now and the Superman film that we just got.
Okay, about so I think my problem with Birds of Prey was just the changes that they made, but I feel like now I feel like I can forgive it because it's a good film. The Flash I couldn't forgive, but She Wrote Bumblebee, which I think was a really good film at the time when I watched it. I've only watched it once, but it's a good film.
Same.
And I think that Christina Hodson, I don't think they can mess this up because like don't get this twisted. I think this is a fact. I think who like for major projects like Brave and the Bold and Wonder Woman, I think James Gunn is pulling like 70% of the strings and 30% is the actual people, even for Supergirl, who are like directing and screenwriting. Like those people are doing like the same amount of work that James Gunn is doing for these films. Like James Gunn is probably writing right next to her, probably like editing her scripts, probably like doing everything. He's basically co-screenwriting and co-directing these films. And James Gunn, say what you want about him, he hasn't made a bad superhero film ever in his career. So I don't think this could be the first, especially because he says he really loves Brave and the Bold. And as we see here, basically in the article that broke the fact that Christina Hodson was writing Brave and the Bold, they also said that Annie Muschietti, which is another person who's kind of making this movie a bit like scary, the prospects of a bit scarier than it should be, is that he directed the It Chapter 2, which people didn't like, and The Flash, which people didn't like. But they're saying he might be like busy with the second season of that It show. So, and then this Jeff Snyder, who first broke the fact that Christina Hodson would write Brave and the Bold, said that James Gunn might actually be directing the movie, which is a controversial thing because this is the James Gunn cinematic universe then. But at the same time, he hasn't made a bad superhero film. And he really loves Batman. So I'm James Gunn. I'm the biggest contrarian. I will fight him on anything that he does. But here I'm like, I want the Batman movie to be good. He makes good films. Superman was really good. And if you want a Superman and Batman that are equal in terms of quality of their films and characters and worlds, and I'm down because he likes colorfulness and flashy characters and all these heroes and villains, and that's what I want for Batman. So I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, me neither. I think James, he is looking at the budget that he's probably been given for the film, and he's also looking at um familiarity. He's worked with these
Yeah.
two already, so it's like, okay, we might not have the biggest budget, let's just do something here. I don't think a Batman film, especially like Batman and Damian, like telling that story, like I don't think that requires like the most CGI,
Yeah.
because it is like kind of like fantastical, but it is still grounded in a sense where the I could see the most CGI being used in like I guess the fighting scenes or when Batman comes to pick up Damian from Ra's al Ghul or Talia,
Yeah.
which could probably be like a cool like action sequence that we get either in the end or the beginning.
I think
And
actually
I also want to say that we should like allow people to learn from their mistakes and even grow from those mistakes. I do believe that there is potential for this film. I'm actually really excited, and like how you mentioned that it is like the James Gunn's like universe. Like he did make a good movie with Superman. The only thing is like I think people want dark Batman, but there's people like me who also want like a more lighter Batman
but then
with like I guess brighter colors as well. Like
I don't
I'm mostly excited for like the blue and gray suit.
I don't think you've
I'll
watched
say that.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Have you?
No, I haven't.
But that movie is like those movies get progressively darker as well. That third movie is pretty dark. Like in certain senses, it's very like it goes there. It's like it has like animal torture, and it's like a very like it's a dark film that covers dark themes. So I feel like he and
Yeah,
even the Suicide Squad was a pretty dark film, even though it was like masked by comedy. My favorite thing about James Gunn
exactly.
and something that Christina Hodson delivered with Flash and Birds of Prey is that like the emotional aspect and the messages and the characters are like the Flash was very like I would say like the Flash himself, like Barry Allen's journey and his relationship with his mother, and those scenes were really well written and emotional. And I would say Harley's whole arc in that movie as well, and her sort of exploring her own mental situation, that was really well written, and James Gunn can write that really well too. And also, you actually blew my mind there with the budget point, because that's so true. Because people are like Sam Raimi and all these like crazy A-list directors. And I'm like, I would rather you
Yeah,
save money on their big paychecks and put that money in the actual film and the characters and the CGI and the costumes, and then just do it yourself, or like hire Christina, who so they wouldn't take some crazy amount of money to like write the film, which is that's actually a smart decision by him. Like I actually totally agree with that. So I think after discussion, there's lots of negatives and positives, but I would say what tips it over to the edge of net positive is that at least it's something. At least we're getting updates. At least something is coming. At least something to look forward to, exciting. We have Batman. And like if we look at it from a hyper like glazed, positive, optimistic standpoint, a writer who can do really good character work and a director who has made several amazing superhero films are making The Brave and the Bold, and it's coming along and they're writing it, and it's going to be part of the DCU, and we shall be excited. And as we see in the screenshot, I attached a screenshot. This was from a while ago, I think like 2024 late, or maybe early last year, where they said that Brave and the Bold would release like really late, around 2030 or 2031. He said no, and it
Mhm.
was a pretty definitive no. So hopefully that is still the case. I personally think 2028 is still feasible. But yeah, so I'm just like overall it's net positive to me. I like yeah.
Yeah. I also like I like a 2028 release year for the movie. Like like they could find like uh if they have okay, so the first movie comes out. They're not gonna want to like drop like all the money on that. They want to see if that's gonna like bring in the money first, and then
They
if
can
it
level it
does
up.
well enough, we can get a sequel, and then the sequel is where they can like actually like, go all in, you know?
Yeah.
Because technically, this is still testing the waters. Like, this is like, does the GP want to like see two different Batmans within like the span of 3 years? And is the GP ready for a Batman and Robin movie, which we haven't gotten in like over 20 years at this point? And yeah, I guess now we can segue into like the last part of this, which is
The
the
casting.
casting choices.
Can you make that a bit
I
bigger?
would want. Okay, so you're gonna hate me, but right now, like my top pick is either Brandon Sklenner
Who's that?
or Nate Mann.
Who's that? I know who Nate
But
Man is. Who's the other one?
oh, Brandon Sklenner, he was in a movie, one of the most successful horror films of this year, with Sydney
Horror.
Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried.
I mean, maybe his face was
Is there an issue?
horrifying, but I think it was a horror film.
I think it was a horror film. No?
Okay, everyone
He was
knows
in the housemaid.
I hate Brandon Scanner, but it's a sophisticated, educated level of hate in the sense that I have multiple reasons. There is a certain look that Bruce Wayne has very consistently, and it's dumb to argue against it. He is a rich, elitist playboy. He is not a Texas countryman, sort of Texan, MAGA type of looking person. And there's no problem with that. But they're just two completely opposite types of people. Like, if anyone is a rough Texan farm boy, it's like a Wildcat or some other rough character. Like, Bruce Wayne is someone who's very clean cut, very elite, rich kid vibes. And Brandon Scanner just gives like, he's like working out in the farm in Texas. Like something like, that isn't Batman to me personally. Like, look at this picture. He just doesn't have the level of like classiness. I think he could be a superhero. Like, he does have the superhero look, but I just don't think it's Batman material. And I think him, like, he just gave me the ick by lying and saying that he knows so much about Batman when you can clearly tell he's just saying whatever. He's like, I like a Batman who's like dark and cool and edgy. Like, what are you saying? Why would you set him up with that picture?
That's Bruce Wayne. Like, what are
He
you
looks
talking
a
about?
mess.
That's my Bruce Wayne. But I was gonna
Maybe he can
say,
play
like,
Robin or something in that picture, but
preferably, I would want like an unknown actor to
same.
play Batman.
An up
Just
and
like
comer or someone
Superman was
from
kind of
theater. Like
unknown in a sense.
you know how some
I always knew who David Cornswell was, and I was rooting for him to be Superman even before like there was rumors of it. I was like, wait, like that's literally Superman, and he was unknown for
the
that
GP,
time.
yeah.
I want that same effect for Batman.
Like Brandon Scanner, I don't want him because now people know who he is and people fan cast him too much. Like people
Yeah.
like the thing is, I want someone like, I can see this already. We get the headline, this up and comer from like this Broadway musical that was Tony winning and he just won a Tony or something, like from an industry we don't know about, like a theater actor or something like that, who can like pull off the acting and pull off the look and like get him from an unconventional place. And I think there's so many talented people out there. We don't have to resort to people like this. So, and Nate, man, I like
And
him, but the more pictures I see, the more I'm like, he looks
I
a
don't
bit
see
too
it.
Humpty
Yeah.
Dumpty, a bit too Humpty Dumpty to me. Like,
I think it's literally just this one photo shoot
exactly,
where people think that like he looks like Bruce
Brandon
and
Skinner should do a photo shoot where he actually looks like Bruce Wayne. Like, that would do so
yeah.
much for his stocks, because so far he hasn't really pulled off the look at all. Like, all these people have to Photoshop his face to absurd lengths to get him
Right.
to look like it. Just do like, I am on your side. If you do a photo shoot and you look like Bruce Wayne, I will say it. But you just have yet every single photo shoot, you're like a rugged, hairy, cross-eyed, like Texas man. Like, we need Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
energy. We need class. Even like at
Like
his red
all these
carpet
men
events.
on this list, I don't see Batman or Bruce. I don't see Bruce in
Yeah, I
like
just
any
don't
of them
see
really.
them. Like the guy in the
Like we
bottom
need an
left
unknown. Like
was a runner-up for
like
Superman. The guy in the bottom left was a runner-up for Superman. I know that, and I know that James Gunn likes him.
mhm.
He might be a front runner. I get it, kind of.
On the
but
bottom right,
bottom left, not that,
on the bottom left.
not the
Okay,
jump scare. On the bottom
that was like,
but the
wait,
bottom
what?
left, the chin on the bottom left. But he's just like,
Yeah,
like
yeah. I could see it the
I could
most
see
in
it.
him or the one right next to him.
Yeah, they give class, like rich class vibes. Like the rest give like the guy on the immediate right of Batman, like he just looks like an asshole, to be honest. He just looks like like he looks like a villain, like a Joker. The guy on the left,
Yeah.
like you can be like I don't know, like that's not, your face is too small. You don't really look like I was gonna say manly enough, but
Well,
that's mean. And then
but I also like the idea of Bruce being like, a handsome, like pretty boy, like billionaire, like. But then like you see that contrast when he's Batman, and
exactly, and he's like
he
rough
is
and
just
tough.
more exactly
The
aggressive.
thing is, people imagine just Batman as like a "Oh, where's the villains?" Like something like that. But like that's something that Brandon Scanner could pull off perfectly. Sure, he can be
Yeah.
intimidating, he can be muscular, but then sure you can make him Bane if you just want him to aura farm and be muscular. Batman has a level of like he's a bit reserved. He's not like rah, 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 rah. He's like you he and this
Yeah.
thing is Brandon Scanner simply there's nothing going on behind the eyes in the brain. That's the vibe that he gives me. We need someone who from his eyes and from his face you can tell that he is calculating, he's cold, he's very 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 smart. Like he's always 10 steps ahead. Brandon Scanner looks like he's minus 5 steps ahead. Like he's behind. So that's the type of vibe that he gives me. He looks like he doesn't have a clue behind those eyes. So that's why I'm
Right.
not a Brandon Scanner fan. Okay, now in other news, we have the movie that is coming out this year, Supergirl. Okay, I don't know why I just did
Woman of Tomorrow.
that. So,
Which has been removed from the name.
so can we play the gifs? Can you click on them? They're not
Oh, you
playing
can
for.
click on it and it'll play. I don't know if it works in hide UI mode.
Well, it doesn't. So, but we can
What
tell the vibe.
happens if I click on it? Is it playing now for you?
Is it playing for you?
It's playing for me after
It's
I
not
clicked
playing
on
for
it.
me.
But
But it's fine. It's fine. We
uh,
can imagine. We've seen the trailer before. So recently, for
please
Super
still.
So recently for Supergirl, they revealed a first look at Lobo, which also got mixed like like reactions. So most people were just kind of like, okay, so it's a situation where like the thought of something is better than like actually having that. Where people had just hyped up Lobo Jason Momoa, he's born to play this. He's gonna look so good. Oh my god, oh my god. And like he hyped up, everyone hyped up. When it actually happened, like he doesn't look bad. He looks extremely comic book accurate. Like that's Lobo. But people were just a bit like okay, like he's just here. Like okay, he's just here now. Like just like a okay, not like a. There wasn't really that excitement there. There was more of a okay, so that's Lobo. Like okay, and
Yeah.
that's it.
I feel like they waited way too long for one, and they kind of hyped it up too much to a point where, like, when they gave us this as a presentation, it was just like, oh, okay, that's
Like
it.
exactly. And we don't even know how long he's going to be in the film. I don't like I don't really understand the purpose of him being in this film besides filling out the dream of Jason Momoa because like I don't really see like I guess you could like use him to promote, but I don't like we're going to have to see because he has two fight scenes in the films according to leakers who apparently went to or talked to people who went to a test screening internally. So this is all with a grain of salt. But the other feedback that can all change. But the Lobo actual like the quantity of Lobo in the film, two fights, I feel like that's enough. I feel like that's enough. I think they just should show a bit more because we haven't really seen like properly. I would have wanted them to just leave this Lobo reveal, like just not do it on a random day too. Like what were they thinking? And just save it for like a quick Super Bowl or even the Puppy Bowl, like something that they can afford, and just do like a proper like Lobo trailer and make it 2 minutes long, show a lot of his scenes and his jokes with Millie Alcock, and just do a big kind of reveal and have like maybe a new scene from Supergirl, just to have a big new fresh like wave of like advertisement. But no, they just kind of on a random day they just dropped this Lobo teaser, and it literally dropped. Like no one talked about it after 2 days. So I'm not sure what that like shows for the prospects of this film, but yeah.
Yeah, and one major complaint that people like brought up was the makeup is a bit like sloppy, but like it looks like he's like wearing like face paint, like it's like almost Halloween costume-ish.
Yeah.
But also like where's his red eyes? Like why aren't they glowing red? And that's one of the main like things you notice when you see Lobo, aside from his like white skin and like his like eye makeup or eye design. I think that's where like the design, like the costume design, the makeup, like it just all falls flat for me personally. And that's why it didn't really like add any hype to the film, which is already not getting that much hype. We saw the trailer released, people were, building it up, but like it didn't really go anywhere. at least it hasn't generated the same hype Superman generated. And you would think it would after Superman came out, but it's like we're in like shaky waters right now. And
Yeah.
it's scaring me a little bit. But that goes on to our next point, which is the promo tactics. We've already like okay, we got into like the male audience with like all these gritty, dark action scenes,
And
which
Lobo.
for some reason like why are we seeing and Lobo? Why are we only seeing like the darkest parts of the movie? Like where's the lighting?
Yeah, exactly.
But let's, try to expand into other audiences like the girls and the gays. Like where's the soundtrack? We need a soundtrack for this film. Like this needs the actual like Barbie level marketing that we thought we were getting for Superman.
Because they're both like, I would say like Supergirl is not, it's not like a feminist story. So like I feel like I'm
Yeah.
scared that the typical people who are like feminism, no, we hate women, like that type of crowd is like they're gonna like destroy this film, which is like so sad because like even if it was a feminist story, like you need to get a life. B, it's not a feminist story. It's a very gritty story about just a human being going through grief and all these emotions and revenge and all this sort of stuff. It's not about like women. Like this could be any gender character. And the thing is, but at the same time, like Barbie, it's a very like emotional, crazy ride. And I think you could get that same audience invested here. Because why did Barbie make 1 million? It's because all these people related to all these women, and they went to support like this like women empowerment movie. And I think you need like a big reason why Barbie and F1 did well is because they have Grammy and Oscar winning and nominated soundtracks with all these crazy major artists releasing singles. And Speed Drive by Charlie XCX went viral. What Was I Made For went viral. For F1, the soundtrack, we had that Rosé song that did really well. We had the Madison Beer song. We had the Tate McRae song, which is Grammy nominated, and the Grammys are happening today. It's just, these are huge marketing schemes with these music videos, and you really show like that the movie is like an event, not just a movie, it's an event. And we need Supergirl to be an event for people to show up, because so far what I'm seeing is this is just a generic action movie that people could be like, oh, I'll just go watch that on HBO Max when it comes out. We need it to be an unmissable event, which is what Barbie and F1 was. And that's why they both did really well. And yeah, and there's so many blonde pop stars that could just, like, imagine, like, Sabrina Carpenter wearing the Supergirl costume for promo or making a song for Supergirl. Like, you have a really, a really likable blonde white protagonist that everyone likes. You have men like her, women like her, people of all appropriations and the genders, and everyone likes this Supergirl. And you have the potential to like so many different genres of music, and there's so many blonde pop stars. It's just a match made in heaven. And the fact that they're not doing this as of now is shocking to me. But I did some research on this actually, and the F1 soundtrack was unveiled in May and the movie came out in June, July. So we still have hope, which is why I would ask James Gunn,
Yeah.
please.
There's still time.
There's still time.
Like looking at like the time frame, like we still have less than 5 months, 4 months to go. So we still don't know like what the whole press run is. Superman press run was actually really fun, and like I liked it. Like the interviews they had lined up, like back to back, like
Yeah,
every day,
it
like,
was an
we just like learning
event.
something new. Exactly. And would you say that the Superman, did you feel like the Barbie level marketing was there? I would say I saw like 70%
Same. I
of like
think
the Barbie marketing.
I think they could have expanded it into more things. Like we could even include Wicked in this, but I feel like
True.
I saw lots
I was
of
gonna mention that
like
too.
the world tour and doing all these different activities and making TikToks and videos. Like
Yeah.
them physically, like the actors and the directors, they did everything they could. 10 out of 10 flawless. I'm thinking more of like other things like the soundtrack and like maybe products in the store, food collabs, like McDonald's meals, like
Right.
that stuff was the cherry on top that was missing. That would have pushed it to a Barbie level campaign. And like Supergirl, you can do a Wendy's Supergirl meal and have Wendy's have like blonde hair instead of red. Like there's so many
Yeah, that would
interesting
be.
ideas that are possible
Hmm.
for this that I think. But the thing that it's just sad that they probably just don't have the budget for it, which is so sad. But I think you should.
I think they do, but I think they're a little bit scared. And here's my thing, like Wicked, okay, Wicked and Wicked for Good. I think that's like the perfect, like that's like what studios should be looking at right now,
Yeah,
like how to make a really like
amazing
successful
campaign.
movie and then like a movie that kind of like underperforms. Like Wicked for Good, after seeing the success of the first film, they went all out in marketing, in brand collabs, and they had, I believe I saw this somewhere that it was like nearly double than what Barbie had in terms of like brand collabs, and yet the movie still underperformed. So I like the brand collabs, it'll work, but don't oversaturate like the whole Superman slash Supergirl branding.
Yeah.
You know, I would say like they need to go all in for like food, music, and in-person events rather than like, oh, here's the Supergirl mac and cheese, or here's a Supergirl Swifter sweeper. Like, you know?
Because what would attract the audience that we need? Like, okay, so like DCU fans, James Gunn fans, like superhero fans, like they are gonna go. We need to attract the
Hmm.
audience that don't typically go for these, like women and middle-aged women and parents and kids and stuff like that. What is gonna
Yeah.
entice them? That's what we should focus on. Get don't get it twisted. When a middle-aged woman is dropping their kids off to work and they turn on the radio and they hear Super by Sabrina Carpenter playing in May and they're like, "Ooh, I like this song. This is the jam." They will show up to the
Right.
cinema. Or if they do anything that appeals to women, like what type of activities like appeal to those age of women or women who want to go to the cinema, like young women who are like
Yeah.
until like from 18 to 30, they are tapped into the culture. So if you make a soundtrack
Hmm.
music videos and you do viral TikTok trends, like they will be enticed. And I think Millie
The
Alcock,
Superman cast got a really good hand of that,
yeah.
like the trends
And the
and
thing,
on everything on TikTok.
yeah,
Yeah.
the best thing is that Millie Alcock isn't like the Superman cast. She's much younger and she's tapped into the culture herself. Like I see, like when
Yeah.
I'm
And
scrolling on
funnier.
Instagram, like yeah, when I'm scrolling on Instagram, I will find a funny reel and she will have liked it. So she's tapped in. I think she's a hidden weapon that they're not utilizing fully for the marketing. I think she's young, she's likable, she's just like use her to the best of her ability. Tell her go wild. Tell her to make a like for example, Cat's Eye's blowing up right now. I would send her to Cat's Eye's practice room one day. Like, oh, I would call their agent. Oh, where are you practicing today? Send her there, TikToks, videos, everything.
Yeah, that
And
would
then,
actually be
like,
a good
something
idea.
like that. I think there's a chance. Like even do a dance challenge of Gnarly or something with Super. Like there is so much here to work off of, and you don't need money for it either. You need like these collabs. They're not even like money based because they get like a share of the revenue or whatever when you're doing like partnerships with different
Exactly.
companies. A soundtrack, yes, that is expensive because you have to pay all these artists. But that's like the only major thing I would spend a lot of money on. Everything else can be
Hmm.
done smartly and cheaply, but a soundtrack, don't skimp out
Uh-huh.
on it because that is
For sure.
because this is supposed
Like
to
I still
be,
want to see
yeah,
like the Supergirl like branding and imaging like plastered on buses and trains and
yeah,
billboards. But then I know it's coming already, but like when we get to like the interview like section, like I want to see like the puppy interview, the get ready with me
yeah,
videos, like
yeah,
the makeup videos,
yeah.
and like cooking together. I think the cooking would like definitely
I would send her on
like
Quinn
seeing Lily Alcock
Blackwell's.
and Jason Momoa cooking together. Like that's gonna bring in like the female, like the older female audience that we need. Like
Like,
I
you
just
know
know
that
it.
one YouTuber, that Quinton Blackwell? You know how she's feeding starving celebrities? Like, send her on that.
Oh yeah, that would be perfect for Millie.
Exactly.
Like they're both young, tapped in. Like that would bring in the teen, like the teen girl audience, and even like the LGBTQ audience.
Like, get
Like
Zara Larson. We are in a booming trend of blonde female pop stars right now. Like
we literally
we're
are.
drowning in them, and the fact that you're not gonna take advantage of it, like James Gunn, please, like please,
Like Zara Larson, Pink Panthers,
Sabrina
Sabrina
Carpenter,
Carpenter.
Madison
Even
Beer.
Madison Beer, even who auditioned for a role in Superman, like I'm sure like the connections
Right?
are there and they can like
Like,
still give us something. Like
there's
imagine
just so
like a whole
much.
campaign where all these like pop stars like they wear a blonde wig
Right? Like,
and like you don't see their face, but like they have like the S symbol like pointed up.
yeah.
It could be a moment.
Yeah, so those are all our suggestions. I think we made a video, like this is nostalgic to me because last year we made a very similar video for
Yeah,
Superman about the like, and it's almost been a year since then. That's crazy. Like, it's kind of is
I know.
exciting.
Like
Like, I can't wait for
time flies.
like April and
Like I
May.
think we got a lot of what we wanted for our Superman wishes, except for the soundtrack, which is like once again
I mean,
like we
that
need like
film,
this.
it kind of circumvented
We need this.
that by creating a pop moment, or not pop moment, a music moment with "Cause I'm a punk rocker." Yes, they like created
Yeah,
that,
that's true.
so they kind of
Like literally,
circumvented.
that actually went viral.
Yeah,
Like we can't even like deny that.
and I think that that's the thing with James Gunn. We don't reheat the same nachos. Get a different flavor. Get a different
Yeah.
vibe. And now you had a taste of bringing these retro films to new things. See, when Stranger Things kept doing the same thing again and again, it got old and
It
people
got
got sick of
stale.
it. It got stale. So let's make a soundtrack. And yeah, and I'm excited for April and May
Hmm.
because it's just going to be such a fun time to be excited about DC and about a film again. And we're going to be, and by then, it's probably going to
I
be back
know.
to back, bam, bam, bam. Supergirl, Lanterns, Clayface, bam, bam, bam. Like, it's going to be super exciting.
Wonder Woman announcement.
Wonder Woman announcement,
Batman Brave and the
Comic
Bold
Con,
official poster announcement. Like yeah,
and then we're going to have Man of Tomorrow
it's gonna
set
be
leaks,
huge.
Batman Part 2 set leaks. It's going to be massive. So,
Exactly.
lastly, talking about later this year, it is crazy that we know this is a good transition to our next topic. We know way
Hmm.
more about a movie coming out in 2027 called Man of Tomorrow than we do about Clayface. Clayface is coming out this October. It has been filmed. It is basically almost done, and we don't even have a poster. We don't have a single poster for this film. We don't even know who
I'm
anyone's playing besides Clayface.
insane.
We don't know anything about the story. We don't have a teaser. That is insane because we have teasers for Avengers Doomsday that is coming out months after this. We have announcements for Man of Tomorrow. Like, we don't know anything about Clayface, which is shocking to me. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I think that there is a chance that they may be rejigging some things to maybe include Batman in there a bit, or they might be saving some surprises for that film, but we will see. Hopefully we have more to talk about Clayface in the future.
Yes, hopefully. And I see you have a screenshot there about the Supergirl test screenings. We didn't really talk about that at all.
I mean,
But
I wouldn't
I think
believe it.
our discussion kind of like goes to show like why the marketing has to be like
Yeah,
a little bit more than what it is now because if people are underwhelmed with these test screenings
exactly.
allegedly, they need to pick it up. Like they need to do something.
Because either you make a 10 out of 10 flawless movie, or like the thing is, the saddest part about Supergirl is unless it's 10 out of 10 flawless, it is not going to perform how it's supposed to. Even if it's a tiny bit underwhelming or not as good as Superman, what is there about this movie that is going to keep anyone interested or the box office at all? Because it's
Yeah.
not as good as Superman, and it doesn't have the same, it's not Superman, it's just Supergirl. So that's why everything around it has to be good to sort of cushion the blow.
It's going up against two like major like comic book blockbusters this year, Spider-Man and eventually Avengers Doomsday. Superman like actually like James like struck gold with like like luck last year going up against three Marvel movies
That all
and
flopped.
outdoing all of them.
Yeah,
But this time I don't know if we're gonna have that same luck. If
unfortunately.
Warner wants like, you know, to like reheat those nachos, that reheat that pot of gold, then they need to like step on it. That's all.
Okay, yeah. So we can move on to our next topic, which is Man of Tomorrow, which is this is the main cream of the crop talk of the town. This is what I am just like foaming at the mouth for. Like, this is sounding better and better by the day. there are some bumps along the way, but this is just a good DC World movie that we've just been, our heart has been aching for like ever since the start of time. Like since I was born, like I haven't really had a live action really like juicy movie with all this like DC characters and color going on. Because
Yeah.
so this all starts when it was announced, and we predicted that Brainiac was going to be the villain, and then there was just kind of like a gap where a lot of rumors came out. A lot of them were proven fake, and then for Christmas we got like a little present of Brainiac being confirmed as the villain, and like some unknown being cast as him, which we'll see, and then all throughout this time we were hearing Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, because they had a casting call out for a female warrior type woman, and we were like Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. And then recently that was debunked as well, and it was confirmed basically as much as it can be without James Gunn announcing it, that it is actually Maxima who is going to be the female lead of this film. And so now we have a clearer picture of what this film is going to be about, and we also got a bit more news, but like I'm excited so far. Like, what are your thoughts on it so far?
I'm also really excited for this film because to me it just feels like it's giving younger me the Justice League hope that I really like yearned for, like the Justice
Yeah.
League movie, like I really like needed as a kid. It's like feeling that little part of my heart. But also like looking at these images, even if you didn't have these like images here, I still would see like these same colors, like the bright greens and
Yeah.
bright blues and reds, like just like everything we're hearing and like that they're telling us, like it's just bringing me like all these like colors of joy right now, and I'm like really excited.
Actually,
But even like where I'm disappointed in like okay, like they announced Maxima, we kind of expected that. Like when we went over like who could this female warrior be,
yeah.
it was either Big Barda, Wonder Woman, Max or Maxima. And then we also kind of like mentioned like Starfire here and there, but it's like okay, even if we don't get Wonder Woman, now there's still a casting for another male superhero, which James Gunn is kind of like teasing as Martian Manhunter right now.
I mean,
I'm also excited for that too because Martian Manhunter, he hasn't been like fully represented in like live action, and it could be interesting to see what they do with another like prominent alien superhero, especially
yeah.
one that has like telepathy and flight
Yeah.
and shape-shifting abilities.
Like
But yeah,
James Gunn, like he's when he teases something, like he's not subtle about it, which is why like I would say I would bet money on like Martian Manhunter being in this film, because he like James Gunn is so specific about how he handles himself online and the way he words things. He would never in a million years just casually post on a random day a picture of the set of the Chocos, which is literally only linked to one character, while simultaneously there's rumors going around that there's one more casting left to go, and he confirmed on threads too that there's one major casting left. So like everything is indicating to him, which is making me think, I don't know if he's doing this on purpose, but like this is a very like green film, because we have Martian Manhunter, Brainiac, Green Lantern, and Maxima, and Lex Luthor. That's a very, very green film. Like I don't know if that's like some deeper hidden meaning or like some like emotion through color or something that he's trying to portray, but that's crazy. That's a very green film, but like he is so cool and powerful. And also James Gunn, like this has been our prediction as I put here, that this is going to be the lineup for our Justice League, because James Gunn, I think he really likes the animated show, which is, and he really knows that all of the DC fans now, 99% of them that are grown, have encountered or have a history with this show in some capacity, because it's basically the biggest DC media we've ever had. And see, we have our Superman, we have our Hawkgirl, we have our Jon Stewart, we're gonna have our Martian Manhunter, and then we just have three other major players left, which is Flash, Batman, and Wonder Woman, which are all coming. And so we just have, the perfect setup with Martian Manhunter being here, which is just, this is kind of, with James Gunn, I'm so used to being a bit disappointed, because like we always expect the best. we always like hope for the best, but like we end up not really getting our expectations reached. But finally we're getting a movie where, at least to some extent, he is like doing something that is gonna please all the fans, something that hasn't been done before, something that's colorful, flashy, bright, has all these superpowers, and like basically a pseudo Justice League, which is my prediction, which is that in this film at the end, Superman is gonna be like, what if another threat like Brainiac comes to Earth? We barely survived this by like like getting a group of people together. We need a specific team to deal with this. We need a Justice League. Like, that's how I could see this film ending. Like, as corny as it is,
Hmm.
like that is that like in the cinema watching this, like, first of all, this is a side note, this is the last thing I'll say for now. In my mind, if this doesn't hit a billion, the only way this doesn't hit $1 billion is if it's a bad film, which I doubt. Because this is like,
Right.
this is the DC film ever made to me so far. Like, this is sounds like it could be the best DC film ever put to screen ever.
Yeah, I agree. It's like we have a fully stacked lineup. We have all of these like rumors, and then we're even getting like the mentions of Batman, which basically kind of got debunked. Like how people were saying that Batman would be mentioned, Wonder Woman would be present in the film, like for sure. But then that all just got like wiped out by James Gunn on Threads, as always. He ruins our fun and our joy. But even even then, we still have like all of this like all of these good things to look forward to. Like I'm already like trying to like piece together certain like things. It's like we're gonna talk about this later. Like the way I kind of feel about like Doomsday's plot, like how are they gonna fit all of these characters into one movie? That's how I feel about Man of Tomorrow. Like how are they gonna fit in like all of these characters and like give them enough time like or enough room to breathe? You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm already seeing like a scene where Hawk Girl quits the Justice Gang and she joins our main line of heroes. I see a scene or like with her and Supergirl like having banter and like, getting along. I see a scene where like Martian Manhunter like just randomly like comes in through the ground and like punches Brainiac.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's the most fun part like about like the preliminary process of these movies where we get to just like imagine and like
If
still
James
like
Gunn doesn't crush our dreams,
theorize.
if he doesn't crush our dreams, then we get to like imagine a
Right.
bit.
Like I need everything. Like I'm even like imagining a scene where like Hal Jordan, like his Green Lantern is in this film, like fighting, but then like he just has to swap out with like John Stewart. I don't know. Like
Well, I don't think
I feel
Hal
like this could be
Jordan
like
is
really.
surviving lanterns, but that's a different topic.
I mean, you know what?
You know what I
You know
imagine?
what? Yeah, you're right.
You know what I imagine? Hawkgirl and
Hmm.
Supergirl teaming up against Maxima in like a girl versus girl. Like, yeah. Like, and like Hawkgirl and
Exactly.
Supergirl, like before this they would have banter like you said. And then they would like have synergy during a fight where like Hawkgirl would throw her mallet and Supergirl would quickly like fly down, grab Maxima's legs and like swing her around and then like to hit the mallet with her face. Like something like a really cool like action between all these
Hmm.
characters. And like, okay, so about the plot of this film, so we know Brainiac and Maxima are both involved, and there is a comic book storyline in the comics that's like really old, not even very famous. It's called Panic in the Sky, and it's a very, very, very basic like story, a very basic superhero story, and I think it's a perfect story. I don't have you seen what the story is about? Because I'm gonna explain it, but
I haven't like fully like looked into it. Panic in the Sky. I what I've heard is like just like the little things like Maxima's world gets taken over by Brainiac.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
She joins him and then like she defies him and then
Because
yeah.
sometimes
But I don't know
like
like the full
old
gist.
comics and even modern comics, they can have very convoluted storylines, but this is such a simple story, and I'm like, James Gunn is so smart for picking something that you don't like. It's a very like easy to adapt story. Basically, Brainiac captures her world and makes her work for him, right? And then they just come to Earth and they're like, we want Earth. And then Superman's like, oh no. And Superman goes to different superheroes. He's like, we need to defeat Brainiac. He gathers them and they defeat Brainiac. It's literally that simple. And at the end, Maxima betrays Brainiac to win the day. It is literally that simple. And I'm just like,
Hmm.
well, that sounds like a Justice League prequel. So, and that sounds like something
Right.
that would be perfect here. And another thing, oh my god, this is what I mentioned. I mentioned this before, I think. I'm happy that they're raising the stakes because I'm like, I'm sick of these stories that only happen on Earth, 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 Earth. I want space stuff. And so I'm happy that we're getting
Yeah.
like we've never seen a DC film where the villain is like extraterrestrial and it's all colors and super cool. Because we had Zod, but he was just like they were just these gray soldiers that were on Earth fighting Superman. This is gonna be colorful and
Yeah.
spaceships and space like Guardians of the Galaxy coded, which I usually mind that, but here I don't mind. Like it sounds perfect. Like to me, it just sounds like it sounds like something that like is so clearly envisioned and like it's hard for him to crush our dreams here, but he will find a way. If anyone's gonna find a way to crush our dreams, it is gonna be James Gunn. But for
Right.
now, we can be excited.
Yeah, like we'll have our fun for now. I'm really just excited to see what they do with all these characters and
Yeah.
how they put things together. Like, will this story be mostly on Earth or like mostly in space? And how, another big question I have is, how will this tie into like the Peacemaker finale?
Oh yeah. How will they
Because
use
Peacemaker, he's
salvation?
trapped like in some other like I guess like dimension or whatever. Like how does that tie into to this, which Gunn said several times, like this is like a direct sequel to Superman and this is gonna be a continuation of Peacemaker, like and Peacemaker is also supposed to be in this film, right?
Actually, I don't think
Which
we got
doesn't make
confirmed.
any sense to me.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think anyone wants that. But actually, maybe not,
yeah.
because people were cheering when he showed up in Superman. So
I mean, you know what? Like it could work. I just don't want him to take up to like hog up too much screen time. Like if he has more than Supergirl or Hawkgirl, I'm gonna be pissed.
but yeah.
Uh, like once again, like I'm already like seeing like a scene of like Maxima as a baby, like watching her planet like be taken over, and then like it flashing back to present day where like she's at Brainiac's side. Yeah, this is gonna be like a huge blockbuster. I feel it.
Yeah. And then okay, and then one last thing is that like obviously we want Green Lantern to show up in live action because we saw with Marvel how characters they introduced in shows like they're just flop characters and then they just don't do anything after that, and then when they show up in movies and movies flop. So
Well,
like we saw with Miss Marvel. So I need him to be okay, this is just the truth. This is just the truth. There's a gap in the market for a very strong superhero role model that's black now that Chadwick Boseman has passed, and I think DC should run in there and snatch it with both Martian Manhunter and Jon Stewart, and hopefully they get the
yes,
memo and they get it because you see what Black Panther did. You see how like people of color rallied behind that character, and that's what we need for these people. We need strong representation, and that's what they can give. So that's what I hope.
we're also gonna yeah. This movie will definitely get us a strong black audience with Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern for sure.
Yeah,
And now I'm kind of like seeing more parallels to Civil War, Captain America Civil War,
yeah.
where it's Black Panther and he's up against
You know,
uh what's
they
his name?
introduced.
Falcon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He was up against Falcon.
They
And even
introduced both
Iron Patriot.
Superman. They introduced both Spider-Man and Black Panther in that film for the first time ever, and they're huge characters. So this really
Exactly.
is their version of Civil War.
Just without like the internal fighting, well, that we know of. I could definitely see like the team clashing in a sense,
Yeah,
the preliminary team clashing, but all like the plot lines that could be created within this with all these characters, like it's just so like yeah, I'm pumped for this.
I'm pumped for this too. Okay, so finally we have more of a
Our other
general.
comic related news.
Yeah.
This is all the happenings of the last few months while we were on our sabbatical, while we were on break, mostly regarding the Batman Part 2, Spider-Man, Brand New Day and Doomsday, and even Lanterns, which you already touched on. This includes Mr. Miracle, some actual comic book news, and I guess we could start with the Batman Part 2, which has announced roles for Scarlett Johansson and
Sebastian Stan.
has Sebastian Stan,
So
and
talking about Civil
even
War,
rumors of the return of
the
Barry
Joker.
Keoghan as the Joker.
Well, he was looking very Joker-like in the recent red carpet. He looked
Right.
terrific as Joker should be. So basically, for the Batman Part 2, they announced that Sebastian Stan is, so I think, so Scarlett Johansson, I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but 99% probably is, but Sebastian Stan was confirmed to be in this movie as Harvey Dent, and Scarlett Johansson is either playing Gilda Dent or Harvey Dent's sister or the Phantasm. We still have no idea who she's playing, which is kind of good, which is a similarity between Spider-Man and the Batman, which I hope they keep, because I think for both these movies, this is just one thing, like, side note that I was thinking of the other day. We have,
Yeah,
I miss the times where we would actually walk into a movie and we would not know what's gonna happen. And that's why I'm like so surprised. Like,
literally.
we don't know who like Sadie Sink is playing, which is like, that is so exciting, because that means it's gonna be a reveal. Like, it's gonna be something that's like shocking and surprising. Like, that is the excitement we need, and I hope they do the same for Scarlett Johansson. She's supposedly playing like the villain, which there aren't that many female villains for Batman that are realistic that he would do, aside from obviously Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, the famous ones. So yeah, it's gonna be another like grounded film. So it's just, I'm gonna have to see something. I really like. I feel like this movie doesn't exist in my mind until it's like coming out. Right now, it's just like, okay, that's
Yeah.
cute.
I just like feel like very like in the middle about it. It's like not really excited, but when
Yeah,
it comes out, I will definitely watch it.
yeah,
And I also have like similar thoughts on like why are we doing two MCU actors in like a DC film? You know, like it kind of like that might like mess with people's like perceptions and like
yeah.
it might make this film hit the billion it needs to hit because these are like very like well-known actors and they're prominent like in like their field. Scarlett Johansson became the highest grossing actress before she was taken over by um that lady again. She was taken over by Zoe Saldana again. And I mean, yeah, like
She
this is
knew she
good
had to move fast
for
to end that lady.
Matt Reeves, right? The next thing we could talk about is another movie which you already talked about, Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which I wanted to talk about a specific story in this, but I know we could just talk about the biggest thing, which is Sadie Sink's role in it, which is still like widely speculated so far. I think I saw like a tweet that said she's like expected to play like one of like 30 roles of like different females. There's Jean Grey, Jean Grey's daughter, Wildcat, um, Mary Jane, right? MJ. Like the list just goes on and on.
Yeah. Espathra,
But
Firestar, there's so many characters. But like,
Black Cat. It's
we don't
just
even know if
insane.
she's a villain or a hero. Like, we don't know anything. And
Right.
that's kind of exciting. And did you see the trailer
Yeah.
that leaked?
I
I didn't
I've
watch it,
seen
but I
some
know
things like
of
alleged
it.
leaks, but I don't think I watched
Yeah,
it
I don't
like
think I watched it
fully. Like
either. But like, I think she says a line like "Stay out of my way, Spider-Man," but like not in that way. But she says it in like a kind of like a ooh like type of way. So I don't know what that would mean for her
yeah,
character. And like,
that's interesting.
I kind of want it to be Jean Grey because that's the coolest option. Anything else is kind of like, okay, whatever. But like, Jean Grey would
See,
be
like I don't
alright.
know much about Marvel, but I'm like, what does Jean Grey have to do with Spider-Man? Like, why would an X-Men like be in the Spider-Man movie if not to like tease Doomsday, I guess?
Yeah,
Unless this movie takes place after Doomsday.
this is a crowded
I'm
movie
not
as
like fully
well.
like well versed into the MCU,
Well,
so
I don't actually know when it takes place either. If it during, before, we don't really know a timeline. But this movie is crowded too. It has
Mhm.
it has the Black Widow Florence Pugh. It has Punisher. It has apparently Jean Grey. It has Hulk. It has all these characters in it. And
Yeah.
we don't, the thing is, this is like similar to Clayface. We don't even know who the villain, like, we genuinely, like, this is a major Spider-Man Marvel movie. We have no idea who the villain is. We, like, genuinely, there's no one knows who the villain is. But also, I watched Wonder Man, which is a new show that came out, which is made by the same director of this film, and it was a good show.
Oh,
So,
nice.
I'm excited because he's really good at action. Low key, I want him to direct Batman as well, our Batman. But I'll show
Oh,
you
okay.
later. But like, he's a really good option. But yeah, I'm excited
Hmm.
for Spider Man because it's just gonna be a fun summer like movie. Like it like Marvel, like I'll drag them. I don't really love lots of their movies nowadays, but a Spider-Man movie I'll always sit for because it's just like so accessible, like to everyone. Like everyone is just like, oh, it's Spider-Man. Let's just go and watch it. Like even if you don't know that much about Marvel. But yeah, so then we have Avengers Doomsday, which they had those four teasers in December, which it's weird because I feel like they did make noise, but at the same time they didn't make noise. Feel like it's too far away for anyone to really like start a hype train because we still have so much year and so many movies and so much stuff to go through. This, in my opinion, could only go two ways. Either A, it's a huge hit, biggest movie they've ever done, huge, 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 massive, or it flops really badly. I don't think there's a middle ground for it, to be honest. And I think a bad flop, like this sounds insane for any other franchise, but I think anything under a billion would be a horrific flop for this film. I think it has to hit a billion because why else would you make this huge nostalgia bait like trick fest if you weren't gonna make it hit a billion? So yeah, I even like we have to figure out how these characters are gonna work. What the hell Robert Downey Jr. is doing in this film, playing Doom for some reason. It's just a damn mess. So
Hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. So I just wanted to add one more thing about the Spider-Man thing. But I guess it also ties into Doomsday, which is the Hulk played by Mark Ruffalo. But like, there's like reports that he was fired by Disney, and the same kind of goes for She-Hulk's
yeah, because
actor,
they're outspoken again.
who also like, yeah, they're very outspoken about this, like about like towards Disney, and like they're in very like support of Palestine and other like major human rights
Yeah,
movements around the world. And it's people have noted like it's surprising that it's like those two like that both play like
Hulks.
people in relation to the Hulk. They're the ones that are getting fired, and then they're before like Doomsday was even like properly like announced, I guess, or even got trailers. You remember like the leaked drawings and sketches,
Oh yeah,
and one of them featured She-Hulk like in
yeah.
this white dress. So it's like, are they actually fired? And if they have been, can Disney still use like their image in these movies, or is that gonna like negatively affect these films as they have to cut so much and change like a lot of their plot around? Even though
I
I don't
mean,
think She-Hulk or the Hulk really mattered that much to it, but like it
they're
is
already gonna be it's
interesting.
already gonna be a mess because they had to change it from Kang as well, and then they cast Robert Downey Jr.
Oh
And
yeah,
then now they're like, ooh, what if we throw in every single person who's ever played anything ever in Marvel ever in this film and just make it a nostalgia swap? So
right.
it could either be their espresso or it could be their the Flash. So it's really,
Oh okay,
like it's really hit or
yeah.
miss, but and then let's talk about some tidbits about DC. So first of
Hmm.
all, on the actual comic book side, like they were doing big business, like they were handling big money last year,
They really were.
because the like two things, DCKO and Absolute has like revived the comic book industry, which is like that like I need James Gunn to like the conclusion I get from this is that let's hop on that. Let's announce a DCKO film and let's make animated films for all the Absolute people like I mentioned in my timeline video. Let's make absolute animated films that are like adult and like bloody and like good adaptations. Let's capitalize on this. I would even say make a game, like make an absolute universe game, like where you can play as all the different absolute characters and there's like a storyline and everything. Like we haven't had comic books, like actual comic books, like moving money like this in so long. Like so many fans are fans who don't really read that many comics, which is like I like that's I like people are very snobbish and they're like, oh, these fans don't read comics, but like that's fine. You can be a fan of the characters and not read every single comic that ever existed. Like that's perfectly fine. And so all those fans, like even they're tapped into Absolute and what's going on, which is like that's a huge movement. And the concept of Marvel and DC having collabs in this year is so insane to me. I think that like it's crazy because comic books are in such a healthy place and then the movies are a mess. They need to get that sorted. Like they need to get that sorted because there shouldn't
Yeah,
be a discrepancy
it's
there.
like such a weird like it's not even a parallel, but like it's just like it's weird to see like how like DC is like ate up Marvel in movies last year. But then like in comics, like they're
And
both also
comics,
like kind of like doing well. But in comics as well, like that's like crazy to see. But
finally.
I feel like this also ties into like a conversation we saw around Halloween where like a lot of people noticed that like DC's characters are more recognizable and like more iconic in terms of like more people are gonna like dress up as DC characters and even villains for Halloween as opposed to Marvel characters.
Like in every aspect. Like DC
Like
is a boss and Marvel is just flopping. So we need this to
like
continue.
Marvel Lois. Like
And then about two shows which are coming out relatively soon. We have Mr. Miracle, and they said they've cast most of the cast already. And James Gunn has said that
yeah.
the same actors who play them animated are gonna play live action. So that's gonna be exciting
And
casting
it has
news.
been confirmed as a DCU show,
Yeah,
which is another major, really, this is major news, even though it was announced in such like a casual way.
yeah.
This is like huge that the new gods and
Like
the
we
gods
have
of
our dark side
Apocalypse.
in for the DCU. Like
Yeah,
that is
like
crazy. That is
that's
major.
insane to me.
And these characters could show up live
This
action anytime.
is exactly. I also feel like this carries on over to like the other projects that were announced, like My Adventures with Green Lantern and the
Starfire.
Starfire show, which are both animated series. I know the My Adventures is like its own thing, but now I wonder if the Starfire animated show, even though it's for kids, allegedly or reportedly, I wonder if this could also be like announced as a DCU show, and that's our introduction to the DCU Starfire. And that introduction is through kids media, which would like just immediately boost her image even further. She's already one of the most popular female superheroes. Like
Yeah.
that would be insane to me.
Yeah.
But that's just some food for thought.
Yeah. And like I want this to be our version of Invincible. Like that's the vibe. Like look at this animation. This
Literally.
this gives Invincible, right? This poster,
Yeah,
it's giving
like
Invincible to
just looking
me.
at the poster, yeah.
Like we need
I
this
feel
to be
like
our
this could be
Invincible.
huge.
Like I need blood and guts. I need swearing. I need crazy shocking space fighting. Like this is our Invincible. Like think about that. Like Mr. Miracle Invincible. Like it's there.
And this is like the first like actual like space related story of the DCU.
Yeah.
If this comes out before Man of Tomorrow, I just like I see perfect synergy with this and Man of Tomorrow,
Yeah.
like in a way.
Maybe they mentioned
And I
Brainiac
want like the
here.
DC, yeah, right. Like I feel like they could do that. Like, and I just feel like the DCU should like give that like the show should be like in synergy like with the movies that come out like in their respective like time frames.
Yeah.
Like if we get like a darker show, like a darker movie should also release like around that time.
Yeah.
Like Peacemaker and Superman, like two like brighter like pieces of DCU media.
Yeah. And then
Speaking of
lastly,
which,
yeah,
Green Lantern, well, lanterns.
we just need an update. Like to be honest, like about this, we've seen a bit of a clip. I want a trailer, and I think the number one thing they can do for this show is have a proper good trailer and just show some scenes of powers because like I'm really excited for this, but like the inner like child in me like and like lots of viewers are like this where we need that little oomph of like action and powers to be interested in something. Like not everything has to be a gritty drama. Like some things can be a like we need them to show a bit of the like, action, childish a bit aspects of the show, which are gonna have the actual like superhero kind of flavor we need. I think so far,
Hmm.
like, I think the thing that's making me hopeful for this is that the powers were really well done in Superman, and Guy Gardner is gonna be in this show. So he's like taking that like aspect into this show. We also have Sinestro, and hopefully they go to space. Please go to space. I want to see Oa. I want to see the Red Lanterns. Hopefully Star Sapphire. I just need them to like give us a trailer, and like low key, I would be fine with the trailer just showing like a bit of Green Lantern and a bit of action, and them saving like the ultimate supreme gag for the actual show, and like us seeing Star
Hmm.
Sapphire and Red Lantern. Like this could be the biggest show ever. Like actually, like genuinely,
Truly.
because so far Stargirl is the best TV show that DC has ever produced. If you haven't watched it, then you've missed out. So this needs to overtake that. So
Right. This is the DC. This is DC's like. This is their Star Wars property. Like I always like
right?
say
Yes,
this. Like
yes, yes. That's
this
so smart.
could be a major, and it needs to be treated as such. I don't
Exactly.
know why we're not getting any announcements, but I'm going to assume that like with this going back to like the synergy topic, they probably want lanterns to be in synergy with Clayface.
Yeah.
Or do they want it to be in synergy with Supergirl?
But
Like,
then
are we
what?
gonna like give
What's the
lanterns
synergy with
like a summer
Clayface?
moment? That they're both grounded, gritty, and
Well,
dark.
I get.
Or the synergy with Supergirl would be like the space sci-fi adventures that they both provide,
You
you
know,
know?
I would have put Brandon Scanner in Lanterns because it's giving like even the trailer, like they're in this military camp. Let's go to the rough Texan military camp. Like,
Maybe
sure.
he's Sergeant Rock. Maybe he's in the Sergeant Rock film that
Okay,
could have
wait,
got
make him
scrapped.
Sergeant Rock. Like, I'd be happy. I'd be cheering him on from the
Like, let's
sidelines.
get rid
Like,
of
let's give him his
If he's
Texas
not
flowers.
Bruce, he can be Sergeant Rock. Like, it's fine.
But yeah, this could be
Yeah.
huge, and this is just like this is our first podcast, so like I'm going into this year with like hope. Like this is gonna be a good
Yeah,
year
me
for
too.
superheroes. So maybe even better.
This
Last
is
year,
our send off to 2025, which was a really good year for comic books and comic book movies, especially for DC, which
yeah,
we ride for heavily,
but I would
especially
say,
over Marvel.
I would say last year produced one like complete and utter success in my eyes. Even like I would say Superman, amazing. I feel like Superman was so good that it like the whole vibe of it like lasted the whole year. But we had so much
It
stuff
did.
other than that was like floppy. That this year I doubt
It
that that's
did.
gonna happen because this year is the first year where we have Marvel and DC both operating on 10 the whole year and being like last year at the start of the year DCU
Yeah,
wasn't a thing because Superman hadn't come out yet. Now Marvel and
that's
DCU are both
well,
a
Creature of
thing.
Commandos did,
I mean,
but
okay,
you know,
okay. But like but like
if we
both
want to
of
be
them
technical,
at the same time are releasing movies, filming movies, casting at the same exact time. And it's just like
yes.
we have both of them working at an 11 and it's just going to be the best year ever. So,
One is working towards a alleged, or I'll say alleged reboot of his universe, which we see how that kind of went for DC, and one is working towards like its rebirth, like it's in its rebirth era, like it's
exactly.
really like getting up on its good foot. So I'm excited to see where this goes,
Yeah. Okay, so
and hopefully we have a great year.
like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and let us know what you want us to talk about. Because I feel like we're down to make more fun, different, unique type of videos as well. Besides just like these news roundups that we do.
Yeah, I really want to get into like ranking videos
Yeah,
and all that sort of jazz.
yeah, and like concept videos. That's really fun.
Yes, we really need to get into that. We
Yeah,
haven't like even tapped into that potential.